Okay, so once again, I want to make the point that there's not one nonverbal indication, or not one verbal indication of whether or not someone's lying. There's only nonverbals and verbal. There's only nonverbal indications that are correlated with lying, right? So one of the things you're going to want to do is I'll tell you all these different ways of determining whether or not someone's lying with speech. Just because somebody does it, it doesn't mean that they're lying. It just means it can be like a red flag. So if you see a bunch of these behaviors, you can say to yourself, this area I might need to probe a little bit deeper, okay? So in terms of speech, liars, there's a correlation between the response time. The most interesting things with speech and lie detection is spontaneous corrections. So essentially, when liars are less likely to correct themselves. And the reason why is because they want their presentation to be more believable. So they're less likely to correct themselves, right? So if you told a story that was truthful, you don't mind going back and saying, that wasn't true. We were there, not there. But when you're lying, what do you want to do? You want it to be flawless, so they're less likely to actually correct themselves. Liars tend to make more errors in general, right? So they make more errors and they usually don't correct them. Liars also tend to pause more often or use things like or but that doesn't mean, some people just do that. Some people just, when they talk, they're just kind of talkers like that. So you have to be careful, and usually you want to see clusters of these kind of speech patterns, like 3 or 5. Liars also tend to be just less fluent. There's a lack of fluency in their delivery. There tends to be a lot of breaks, a lot of pauses. It doesn't come off as believable. And what's really interesting is if you see somebody who's really a good communicator and they never have problems, they talk well, they don't mess up, and then all of a sudden during a certain area they tend to mess up, it tends to mean something, right? It could mean something.